hit the like button, whatever it is, because we got everything y'all need, man. Listen, and what you ain't looking for, you gonna be looking for it then.
Scribe or Deebo gonna whoop your ass.
Speaking of quarterbacks, let's go over here to the Steelers, man. I guess the Steelers sent a scout to look at the South Carolina quarterback Sears. It says if things start off poorly, could this finally be the season that the Steelers tank for a top quarterback in the NFL? Do you think the Steelers would tank for a top quarterback in the NFL?
That sounds ridiculous. Do you think Coach Tomlin will come into one of those team meetings in the morning talking about taking an L? Like,
Never.
We're men. We have something to do. Like, this is our job. We don't get paid by the hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, Coach T not with that. He gonna come in that jump motivating with speeches and everything. Like, we're gonna go undefeated. It don't matter what not even undefeated. We're gonna win this week. That's what I like about Coach T. He's not looking too far ahead. What we're gonna do is who we playing. What is our things? We're gonna work on our schedule. We're gonna do Mondays. We're gonna do like line. We're gonna do red zone. We're gonna do certain things. We have a schedule that we're gonna do, and we're gonna do it no matter who we play. You know what I'm saying? What do you mind say? The nameless gray faces. It doesn't matter who they play. They're gonna have to come see us. You know what I'm saying? So tanking for the Steelers is crazy that somebody would even think about that, because we were with Duck Hodges, my good man, not knocking Duck. We trying to win. We thought we were going to win. Every game when the Duck was the quarterback. Every game we go out, we never felt like we were inferior or anything like that. We're like, we about to bust your ass. Serious.
Yeah. I would never think of the Steelers tanking. And, you know, again, my biggest reason is Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is not going to tank a season no matter what. He hasn't had a losing season in, 18 years.
Yeah.
He's not going to go out there and try and have a losing season. And I know people say, you know what, man, it's time for a change. It's time for this. It's time for that. You know, he hasn't won a playoff game since 2016. You know, that's one of the knocks. But how many coaches out there, you know, can you say has the record he has never had a losing season? And to be quite honest with you, I believe that's one of the reasons why he will always keep a job in Pittsburgh. You know, whether he wins a playoff game or not, if he doesn't have a losing season, then, you know, he's going to be there. They're not going to get rid of him. They're going to re-sign him. If you look at the history of all coaches that is in the position that he's in, none of them have been fired. All of them have been rehired. And if you do that today in the hypersensitive racial culture that we have, things would explode. And I get it. I totally get it for the people who are like, hey, but the standard is the standard. Yeah, it's sort of starting to sound like lip service, because now it looks like the standard is 500. Because we haven't won a playoff game since 2016. You know, you got 6 in one hand, you got a half a dozen in the other. And, you know, I understand both routes. The issue is you can't get rid of that. You can't, you know, you jump out of, you know, the grass is always greener on the other side. And
you think it's greener
on the side. You know what I'm saying?
You think it's
greener. It's not really greener than that.
And if somebody were to let go of Coach T, he would be picked up the quickest of any coach of all time. A lot of the other coaches a lot of other organizations would love to have Coach Tomlin as their head coach. And especially the way that people speak about him. Like, I know me, for instance, just playing from a bunch of different coaches in Cleveland, coming to Pittsburgh, Darius Slay, Jalen Ramsey. It's not just us. It's like, that's not normal, the way that he just is able to interact with his players, the way he's able to legitimately, like, have real conversations with you. He's not.
Well, I will say this. I understand where you're coming from with that. And I had that relationship where my relationship with Tomlin broke down was towards the end, you know, the last year. And you know, he always says, as a tough question, I'll give you a tough answer. Well, I was asking the tough questions, I was asking the tough questions, but I wasn't getting the tough answers. I was getting the answers that, he thought would appease me, to be quite honest with you. I'm like, yo,
okay.
I need to play. I need to do this. I need to do that. Like, okay, yeah, we got, we got plans. We're going to do something. And, nothing came to it. And what it really came down to is I'm like, yo, if you just sitting me here to have me as a backup, just in case one of your young guys go down and you can put me in there, I understand that. But say that to my face. Say that to my face. I could deal with it better than you sitting here and feeding me a whole crock of stuff that does not make sense, to the point of where we're going. I think it was Houston or something, can't remember, but it was before Christmas. And I'm like, yo, I know you're not going to dress me. I know you're not going to play me. Why don't you just let me stay at home?
This was 2017.
Right. So why don't you just let me stay at home for this game? And that way I could spend Christmas, with my family, whatever. No, I can't do that. No, we might need you. Okay. And then immediately, believe it was that Thursday or Friday, he released me. Like, that's not something you just did on the drop of a hat. You know what I'm saying? That was in the works.
Yeah.
He was, as he said, a numbers, thing or whatever it may be. No, you saw. Here's the crazy part. I said week 1, we played Cleveland. We played y'all. And I said, hey, I see what you want to do. You want to play your young guys. I totally understand that. Phase me out. You got younger guys. I don't feel they're better than me right now. But in time, yes, they will be. So why don't y'all just release me and let me go play my, year out somewhere else? No. We got a plan for you. No, you don't have a plan, man. And that's the same thing you kept feeding me. So I got to the point where, like, you know what? I'm just disgruntled. I'm trying to do anything to get out of here. Like, I'm trying to make y'all release me, dude. Like, I'm not practicing. I'm doing a little bit of I'm saying my back hurt. I'm telling them any and everything. Like, just release me.
You are funny because you saying this is bringing it back. That was when I first signed was 2017 when you was like kind of like that was the year. You know what I'm saying? When they had, it was a TJ and Bud, you know what I'm saying? You was getting the time and then you was coming into the meetings. I'm like, oh yeah, just thugging it, Deebo. Like you said, you
going to release.
I said, I remember. I was there. I said, oh yeah, that's Deebo for real.
But that's the thing. That ain't even me. They made me go out of character.
I know, Deebo, but I'm just saying that was my first time over there. You wasn't being me, but you was like, yeah, I could just tell you wasn't on that. But it was you've been there so long, did so much. That's when the business kind of really hit to where you have a personal relationship with Coach Tomlin. Like you feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm asking you the hard question. You should be able to give me the hard answers. We're grown. We're maturing this.
We're grown man. So, like, yes, I can understand
some type of way.
You want to do. No question.
But tell me something. So no, for sure. I can see that 100,000%. And like literally on my way out the door too in Pittsburgh, you have those conversations until they get a little bit too difficult for them to have. And then that's when the business side clicks in. It's like this, dang, it really is still a business.
Yes.
We cool as a mug. We super chill, but dang, I still got chopped and didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it gets to that because at the end of the day, it is love. Once you sign that contract, now we're going to make this family a family because we're going to be here. We got to be here. You know what I'm saying? I'm working with you because I'm going to do my job to make sure myself does good. You're going to coach me up, and now we got a relationship. But soon that somebody else coming in, contract get to acting, Kevin Colbert get to talking to him, and he like this, so we going to have to let Buddy go? That's their conversation. Don't have nothing to do with our relationship. My kids that you see, you know what I'm saying? Like they like this.
Where mine really fell apart is, I believe it was either Tennessee or Indy. I done practice all week. He's saying, all right, you're going to get reps, we're going to rotate you in, whatever, right? I get to the game. When I get to the game, Joe, I am a no dress. I have no uniform in my locker. I am a game day scratch, and I ain't been told a word till I walk in and see it. I told him right then and there, I said, listen, if I ain't playing, I ain't staying. And I left and went home.
Yes, you did.
That's when I started trying to do everything I could to get out of there. Because now are you only
you disrespect.
You're not even talking to me and telling me anything. You just blatantly lying now.
If you come into the game, Deebo, and your pads aren't in your locker and it's a sweatsuit in the joint, you fed. You have every right to be fed. Especially when you talking to them. You asking these questions when they like, just let me know where I'm at. And I'll let you know where you stand. If you want to know, I'll tell you. And then you're not telling me that's great. That's great. I'm sorry that joint happened like that, brother. But you know how that, but you know.
Yes.
Business side snapped, and that's why you like, okay, so I'm
right. You got to snap out of it. You got to realize the business is business. You know what I'm saying? You thought that personal relationship you had was going to get you honesty. No, it's going to get you what he needs to tell you to keep his business, keep his position, to keep what he needs going so he can keep his job at this business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
You know, speaking of the Steelers, like we got Aaron Rodgers over there. How far you think we go get with Rodgers?
I lie to you not, man. If he can stay healthy, Aaron Rodgers is one of the best throwers of the ball that I've seen. Spiral, always on point. I think him being there with Coach T, like you said, the Steelers defense has always been amazing. And when we've had several different quarterbacks, offense has been able to get there. Just don't mess it up. Aaron Rodgers isn't a quarterback that throws a lot of interceptions. He's not going to be putting the ball, turning it over, putting the defense in bad positions. So I think if he could just stay upright, stay healthy, and his ball placement is amazing, just being him and Coach T working together on a plan. Like, you don't got to throw for 5,000, but you could throw for 25 tutties and like 2 interceptions, and we could be balling. Like, long as the defense isn't set back in a terrible position, I think they'd be good to go. So him with Coach T, I think it's going to be solid. I just hope he.
What if they start losing? How do you think it go if they start losing?
Man, if they start losing, it's going to go the same way, man. You know how it is. It's 1 week at a time. I think they're going to be able to try. They're going to just try to figure out what's going on the offensive side. I just hope that.
Do you think that relationship stays the same? Do you think, or does it dissipate like we're talking about here?
I think that Coach T may have a different relationship with the quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like him and Big Ben. I think that their relationship was pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? And with the quarterback position, with Aaron's knowledge, I think him maybe go. Deebo, stop making your face like that. Stop making your face like that. From what I saw,
you assume what you assume, baby. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, from my eyes. They might not have got along too well.
They got along great.
I thought they got along. From my eyes, it looked like they got along. And I think that with a smart quarterback like that, with Aaron and his knowledge, I think they're going to be able to try to figure something out. Yeah, just in my eyes. What do you think, Deebo? You was there longer than me.
Like I said, I'll say again, I think if things go well, they go well. That's why it's a 1-year deal. If they go well, it's a possibility for it being, something else. But if they don't, we know our ties is cut and we go, the way we go. I think it gets super ugly if they get to a point to where it's looking like it's going to be Tomlin's first losing season. Because now that puts him in a position he's never been in, and it opens up the gate to a lot of other decisions that could be made, by the Steelers organization.
No, for sure.
I think Rodgers, to be honest with you, I don't think he's the player that he used to be. I think now it's to the point where those balls that he would zip out there and it's just a fingertip away and you couldn't get to it. Now guys are getting a hand on that ball. Some guys are picking that ball. The placement is not exactly perfect like it was. It's 3 inches off. 3 inches off. There's a difference between somebody touching the ball, picking the ball, and the ball getting into the receiver's hands.
You ain't lying.
I don't know if, he's come to the realization that, it's a little something a little different. Maybe he has to adjust and he just hasn't adjusted to it yet. But that's the big difference that I see, especially like, when we played him in the Super Bowl, it's like, you got RC, he's right there and it's, fingertip,
Yeah. No,
he
for
just
sure.
misses it and, it's a tutty. So those plays and those throws that, he had his whole career, I think over the last year or two, he doesn't, he just doesn't have those perfect, throws anymore. And, that I think that's the difference that, we're seeing now in the last couple of years.
No, for sure. Well, I'm rooting for him because Aaron Rodgers has been one of my favorite quarterbacks for a long time. And I hope he do good
I'm
for
always
the
rooting for an old guy.
Throw out some discount double checks, man. I think if you bring that back, it might get fire. You might get back sweet. Start doing the discount.
Oh, hold on. We got breaking news, brother. Steelers running back Jaylen Warren, headed into the last year of his deal, just signed a 2-year deal extension that keeps him contractually tied to the Pittsburgh Steelers through 2027. Do you like this move?
I love this move.
I was going to say the same thing.
Because Jaylen Warren, he hits that hole like he cares. He hits it. He's going to get north and south. He's going to catch the ball out of the backfield. He's going to block. And he looks like he just cares to me. When I see him run, I see his passion. I see him being a very, very good asset to the team. So that's why I think they didn't care as much. Never knocking Najee. Love Najee. But it wasn't as expensive, and he was hitting that hole very hard. So them being able to keep him, I think that's a great move for the Steelers. I don't think they probably had to pay my man too much, but he's worth every penny of whatever they signed him for because he deserves back pay. He's getting a little back pay in this contract and then this joint right now because he's solid player. I think he's a good dude, and I think he's going to be solid for the Steelers for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think having him there, gives you a better opportunity to have a running game, which will hopefully help take some of that, pressure off of Rodgers and stop, allowing the D-line to just pin their ears back in certain situations, keep the game close. When you have a two-headed monster, so to speak, and I wouldn't even call it a monster. You have a two-headed attack and you have a running game that can complement your passing game. Mm-hmm. It's a lot harder to zero in. He is he's a good running back, like you said, north and south. He's going to put his head down and if it's nothing but 3-4 yards in a cloud of dust, that's all you need to, to keep the chains moving. So I definitely, like the move. I'm all in for it.
I like that you're a Jaylen Warren fan. We feel the same way. That dude is he just gets after it, bro.
Yo, man. Why this dude Chad Ocho on live talking about he go beat my ass, bro?
No, he not. That dude, Ocho, that's my good man too. Right. I mean, Ocho, that's my good man. I don't know. Y'all ain't going nobody.
You see how I sent you the word, man? I'm trying to live my life right, be peaceful. But what he doing is he making me go back into the other side.
No.
Yo, I'm gonna bust his ass, bro. I'm gonna take it to where he can't see out both eyes. Behind one of his eyes, damn near. He ain't gonna be able to see out of neither one of them.
Come on, Deebo. See, relax, Deebo. We gotta chill. I'm gonna get on the. I'm gonna talk to Ocho. We gonna talk. We all gonna just chill.
Ocho say he wanted. Oh, listen, Ocho go. I'm gonna talk to him with these hands and these feet.
And the feet.
It's MMA style, man. It ain't nothing stop. You know what? Let me stop that.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I ain't gonna hurt him too bad.
No, man, that's my great man. Come on, that's a good dude right there.
I ain't gonna hurt him too bad. I'm just gonna do enough. I'll just put him to sleep. I'll just choke him out. How about that?
All right. Just let him tap. Quick tap. Pop, pop.
I can't. I don't even know if I can let him. Okay, if he tap, then.
Quick tap. Pop, pop, pop. Soon as you get on, I'm out.
Nah. I gotta make like I ain't feel the tap, though. He got to at least fall out for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tap you for him.
Who you taking, me or Chad? We got to get this. We getting this set up. So
we talking about
MMA.
Listen, if we're talking MMA, brother, if we're taking MMA, I'm taking you, Deebo, because I'm telling you. I mean, how you gonna? I'm just done with you. You grab hold of Chad. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how he's gonna get out.
He ain't. And see, that's what I'm going to do because I'm a nice person. I'm going to go ahead and just grab a hold of him.
And just squeeze.
Matter of fact, I'm just going to bear hugging me till he tap.
That's what I'm saying.
Just break a rib. You know what I'm saying? Just squeeze him so tight until his ribs.
Chill, man. Chill, Deebo.
You know?
Chill, Deebo. Chill.
That's better than damaging, his vision permanently.
Man, let's see. Look,
he can heal from that.
Let's get off my good man Chad and get to some more takes. You out here trying to fight.
Listen, man, I ain't trying to fight. He on live talking about what he go do to me. What you want me to do, man?
Yeah, you gotta respond.
I gotta respond. What else am I supposed to do? Not respond?
Yeah, that's my bad.